This is the Town of Lake Park, Florida regular commission meeting for Wednesday, August 6, 2025. The time is now 6:41 p.m. Can we please have the clerk take the roll call?
Sorry about that. Commissioner Linden, Commissioner O'Rourke,
Here.
Commissioner Thomas,
Present.
Vice Mayor Hensley,
Present.
Mayor Mashad.
Here. Can we all please rise for the pledge? All right. Not too many people here tonight. All right, so I have nothing. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. If there's any modifications, anything to be removed, please state it now. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to move.
Actually, before you make that motion to move, I believe Commissioner Thomas.
Yes, I wanted like to pull item number 2 in the consent.
Just number 2?
Yeah, just number 2.
Okay, so let me know item number 2 will be pulled from consent. The rest of the items will remain in consent, and we'll make a motion on those once we get to consent. Aside from that, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to move.
We have a motion to approval of the agenda. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the approval of the agenda passes. I have nothing under special presentation. Next, we have public comment. As I see, we have public comment. Before we start public comment, I want to stress to everyone, this is a lot of cards here, and I am only allowing 3 minutes for everyone. That is fair to everyone. Please be mindful of the person that's up there in the microphone. We also have a civility and decorum that's in place as well. Do not create any outbursts. We don't need any comments. We don't need any clapping. This is an exchange of information that we need to hear from the person that's on the microphone. So I would ask humbly and kindly if you would just allow that person to speak so they are clear with their thoughts, their words, and we are here to hear what they have to convey. And also be respectful of them just as much as you would like to be respectful of yourselves. And that's all I have to say on that. I will go through them. If they're public comments on items, I will go through them. Actually, my first one, I know it's not a public comment. Mr. Sullivan, you don't have a comment on any specific item, correct? You said you have a public comment card. Yes, it's actually not on the item. So I will let you go first with your public comment. I have one for you and one for Iris, so Iris will have to come up on hers. Okay?
I'm commenting on what is going to take place on what was the Tri-Center Mall. About 10 years ago, there was a big open sinkhole right at the end of the pond that went about 20 feet deep. And it made me think of when I was back in engineering school, there was a classic study between Brooklyn Bridge and a place in Florida. And basically the outcome was if you have water causing sinkholes, you don't put buildings very heavy on it because they'll tilt one way or the other. And this is what I'm afraid of might happen if they make a building over, let's say, the French always said 7 stories, but engineering school said maybe they could go higher if they used long spiked reinforced concrete poles to hold the building, but nothing over 10 floors ever in an area where sinkholes are a known hazard. And they are a known hazard there, because I've seen them with my own eyes. And it's necessary that we prevent any dangers from happening, because if a sinkhole opens under a heavy, high building, and it leans one way or the other, we have a disaster on our hands. I mean, a real disaster. It would be even worse for North Palm Beach than for us, because North Palm Beach, for the main area, only has 3 ways off. The little high bridge there, this one here, and the drawbridge on the other end. If all 3 of them were to be put out of commission, North Palm Beach would be out of business. And that's why we got to be extra careful with what we put on what was the former mall. And that's all I had to say.
Thank you, James. Iris, I have a public comment card here for you.
Oh, yes, we have a problem. I live in 348 Flagler Boulevard, and I talked before about this issue because some of the neighbors in my street and other people, they worry about. The problem is we're dealing with the oak tree on both sides of the street is really getting out of control. You know, some of the street is almost even a little bit more with the electric wires on the street too. So the branches, they're very low, okay? And the tree became so big, you know, it joined the palm tree too, and it's a lot of, you know, problems with the neighbors because, you know, they say, you know, I say the same thing too. Why they don't take care the maintenance of those trees, because it's very important. Because one time this year, it was a bad weather. We didn't get the storm, but we got the rain. And then we parked our car in the other house we own. Then in the morning, when I get up, what did I see in my driveway like this? All those big branches in my driveway, okay? And the problem is, you know, those branches, you know, they fly in the air. And, you know, some of the residents, my neighbors too, you know, they wonder, you know, if something happens, you know, either hurricane come or we're getting a bad weather and the wind is too strong, if those branches can hit people's window or maybe it can hit your car, you know. They didn't hit our car because it was we parking by other house across the street. But I think, you know, this is a very important matter to be handled because, you know, if those branches come, back where they come, and break people's window, who's going to pay for the repair? Will be the town of Lake Park. You know, it's very, very important, you know, to maintain those trees the way they're supposed to be. Those trees, they don't be getting maintenance, you know, for a long time. And I talked last week with one of the public workers, and I showed him the situation with the oak tree. And then, you know, the men agree, oh, it's true. You know, the branches are too low, you know. But, you know, they need to do something because, you know, it's those trees, they're really very big. What they need to do, they need to hire a tree company to do that because public workers, they don't do that kind of work. Okay? That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll make sure that the person that's coming on the microphone will be able to get close to the microphone so they clearly can be able to speak through their audio. Okay, and then if we can also make sure in the back whoever's handling the equipment can kind of do a little tweak of the audio as well. Okay, thank you. Mr. Palumbo, are you here? Your agenda, your public comment card, is it on an agenda item? Is your public comment card on an agenda item? Is it on the marina? Okay, so this is regarding the marina. Okay, I'm going to hold off on this if that's okay. Right now I'm doing, no, I'm going to do that when we get to the topic. I just wanted to clear that up. Rafael Moscoso. And I believe your comment card has it on a non-agenda item. Okay.
Thank you for this time, and you're absolutely right. I did write
I just wanted to make
non-agenda
sure.
item, and I don't intend on harping on anything that's on the agenda, okay? I chose to take my 3 minutes and instead use them to inspire you. I was going to, maybe pray that you guys, wisdom, knowledge, calm, whatever, to make your choices that you have to make throughout this evening. But instead, because I don't want to offend anybody, this religion, that religion, whatever the case might be. So then I'll just say this, okay? We're all grown in this room. Our parents taught us, and if they didn't, somebody along our lives taught us what right looks like, okay? So throughout your evening, okay, you guys should definitely know what right looks like and what right doesn't look like. And so you make your choices accordingly. Sadly, if you don't know what right looks like, you shouldn't be up there, but that's a different story. And again, I kept to my non-agenda item. Thank you very much. You guys do your job. Thank you.
Thank you. Zechariah Caesar?
It's regarding a later topic, you said.
Oh, it's regarding an agenda item? Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so non-agenda items have been taken care of. I do have more for an agenda item specifically. You have one for a non-agenda item, sir? Can you please come up just to let me know your name so I can look through the cards? You submitted a card, correct? What is your name, sir?
My name is Taryn Mercer.
Terry Mercer. Okay, hold on
Taryn.
once. Say it again.
Taryn Mercer.
Let me find it. I see you have it on the Lake Park Marina here.
Yes, that's
Okay, so you have two. Okay,
Yes.
so you're just speaking on the general one.
yes, I am.
Please continue.
Okay, so
Just make sure you're on the microphone so we can have
yes,
you hear
sir.
clearly.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I want to start by saying that good things happen to good people because we care. And I want you guys to always remember that as an elected official. And also, I'm speaking on behalf of what's to become for the rest of the night as well. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. This is my second meeting that I actually have attended. This have allowed me to get to know the city a little bit better. I actually did my due diligence on the city 4 years prior to actually moving into the city. I'm going to be a new resident at the Nautilus 220 whenever I move in. I'm currently, at this point, we're just still trying to figure out where we live right now. But I want to say something good. Every time that I used to move into my old community, I used to take a deep breath every time I went. I can't believe that I come from inner city to be to the point of where I'm at, from where I'm at. I finally made it across the tracks. Now, I came into a gated community where things were a little bit different. In Nashville, Tennessee, we had gentrification that had taken place, just like we're having here in the city. I chose Lake Park 4 years ago. I love this city. I love everything that's about this city. Kelsey Park makes me smile every morning that I go to play pickleball. Every time that I come into Lake Park Marina and I go to my boat, I give a deep breath and I said, man, you know what? I finally made it across the tracks. I was able to get to a point of where I found my home. And you guys, Lake Park is my home. So I want to let you guys know that you guys are doing a lot of good things amongst the community. Your security is good. Your security is good. My wife feels safe every night that we go out in Lake Park Marina. Every time that I come across from North Palm to where I'm coming across to Lake Park, I take that deep breath and I say, wow, you know what? I'm pulling into Lake Park. Now, there was a misconception because when we moved into the Nautilus, they wanted us to go through 45th Street. I did not like that. Sorry. But I do like the fact that when I say that this is my home, I embrace every single being that's amongst the city. The only thing I will ask you guys to do, continue to keep security in place. Work on your curb appeal. Why does it feel different coming from North Palm to where we're at in Lake Park?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That is all the public comment cards I have on non-agenda items. So with that, we will close out public comment for this session. Next, we have the consent agenda. May I entertain a motion to approve consent? With the exception of item number 2 that has already been pulled from consent.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, exception for item number 2 that was pulled.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner O'Rourke has a second. We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the consent passes. I will go to the item that was pulled, item number 2, Resolution 430825, 2024-2025, Community Development Block Grant, CDBG Award Agreement, First Amendment, PBC Department of Housing and Economic Development on the splash pad / water feature for Kelsey Park, priced at $400,916. Commissioner Thomas, you requested to pull this agenda item, so I will let you begin.
Good evening. Thank
Good
you,
evening,
Mr. Morales. The purpose of me pulling the item is, initially when we had approved it, it was supposed to be part of the aquatic facility and the community center. And then we asked that the county amend it so that it becomes a splash pad and water feature. Okay. So thank you. So the concern for me that I have tonight is, what are we actually approving? Are we approving the amendment to the CBDG, which allowed for us to agree to the acceptance of this for the water feature, or what? What exactly?
So what we're voting today is for an amendment that we submitted with CDBG organization, and it's related to the use of multiple contractor. The original contract only stated that we had one contractor, and we're asking to have multiple contractor. That's why we present the amendment. That's the only reason it's presented.
Okay, because it didn't really say that. It said a lot, but it didn't really say that. And so the other thing that I was concerned about is, we have there right now as a splash pad / water feature. And we have the timeline, I think, that was laid out, which stated that construction of the water feature would be July of next year, so the end of July. And that the actual completion of the project, meaning closing it out, would be September of 2026.
That's correct.
So I'm wondering whether or not, and I saw the 80 days or 90 days that we had provided for, I would hope to say, public input.
Yes,
as
ma'am.
far as what it is that we would like to have there.
We have a workshop.
Okay,
program.
because that wasn't necessarily clear, and I received calls on having some input in what type of water feature will occur on, at the park.
That's the main purpose of the workshop, is just to get feedback and guidance of what type of water feature.
Okay, because I just, with that timeline, from the time that we accept the design, from the time and to actually construction, I think we only gave ourselves 3 months.
Sure. Yep.
Right, and it's a very tight
Well,
time.
and the reason why we crunch the schedule is based on the requirements from the CDVG. So we have to look at the schedule and crunch it as much as we could just to make it fit within.
So we're going to be going out for bid for the design, or we're going to be going out for bid for an architectural firm? Is
correct.
that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, and then they will follow the lead based on public input?
That's correct.
Okay,
They prepare the bidding documents. The bidding documents are posted. We select the contractor, and hopefully we start construction as soon as possible, which is July.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to make sure that we put that on record, that the public will have an opportunity to provide input, because many are concerned about the maintenance of the water feature that might go there and wanted something that was required less maintenance and that didn't necessarily attract unsavory characters there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, and to add on, I've received contacts as well that were interested in that aspect, just as Commissioner Thomas stated. So, is there any other comments or any other questions? Okay. So with that, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 430825.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Thank you.
Second?
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, resolution passes. That is all the remaining. That's the only remaining item that we had pulled from consent. I have nothing on ordinance on first reading. I have nothing on ordinance on second reading. However, I have two items under new business. The first item is Resolution 470825, an agreement for professional architectural services for Historic Town Hall Preservation Project, TFH Architectural Services, LLC. And I will move this over to the town manager for, Mr. Morales, you will be,
So this is to award this resolution is to award the agreement with the architect firm just to do the improvements to the town hall for the ADA, and also will include a assessment to the layout of the chambers to see if we have any opportunity to rearrange the chambers.
okay. Thank you for that. Do we have any questions for staff at all?
Yeah.
Commissioner Thomas.
Could you identify what exactly are the doors that are looking at, that we're going to replace, and also the ramp?
Right over here.
Okay, so
Just make
that far
sure-
east, I mean, the north, that northeast?
Yes.
Okay, and then where are we putting the ramp? The rear,
Romero's area.
that ramp would also
Yes.
be there?
Yep.
Okay, and the awning would be
The entrance.
to the west?
To the entrance.
Okay. Thank you. Just one,
Commissioner O'Rourke.
Are we going to fix the security of this door here?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to ask the architect to look at the layout and give us options to reconfigure the chamber. And at that point, we can have the discussion with the commission, and as you please, then we'll have the architect develop the designs.
So you'll talk to the architect and receive direction from us as
Yes.
to what findings you get from the architect.
That's correct.
Okay? All set, Commissioner? All right. Anything on this side? Vice Mayor?
My question's answered. You just answer it.
Okay, so then no other questions. With that, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve Resolution 470825.
I'll second that.
We have a first and we have a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, resolution passes.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I'd like to ask Town Attorney. We approved an item in the consent agenda, and I initially had wanted to ask about it, and I know it's already approved, but is there a way that I could just raise questions in regards to it, even though it's approved? Ask staff? Because it was my default. I had it written here, and is there, I mean, we already approved it. It's just that I just needed some clarification on the record.
I would suggest you clarify it with the town manager after
Okay.
the meeting.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Next, we have item number 8, Town of Lake Park Marina P3 project, a request to amend the State of Florida Board of Trustees of the Internal Improvement Trust Fund deed restrictions. Before we go any further on this, a discussion was made last night during our budget workshop on concerns that there were for the marina and the P3 project as a whole, which led us to this point right here. This agenda item is strictly on whether we should postpone TIF permitting applications and any other DEP applications scheduled for September due to these issues for the marina with respects to permitting and the comprehensive agreement. It is my suggestion that we stick to that narrative, as this is not a discussion on any other things but that alone. I do have a lot of public comment cards, I know that, and we will go through those as we do accordingly. But I'm trying to keep this from going in a direction that it doesn't need to be, because there's certain times where discussions need to be made with staff, and then staff will provide us any information on what we need to know to make our decisions accordingly. So I'm just letting it be known that, and if there's any questions you have into what I said, please go ahead. I open the floor to my fellow commissioners. None? None? There's no motion yet. No. I was saying that would be the motion if we move forward on that. But we have to let the public speak first. So, okay, I have nothing here, so I'm going to go ahead and move to public comment on this agenda item.
Before we start, I do have, I have an objection to the way we're approaching this.
Okay,
And I just want to put this on the record.
sure.
You're limiting this discussion to whether we're going to postpone or move to postpone the execution of the agreement with for the TIF on the deed restrictions.
Okay.
I don't think it should be limited to that. I understand that that's the focus of what we're trying to do, but this is a broad subject, and there's a lot of issues that are connected to this. And simply saying, well, are we going to postpone this or not, doesn't really address the underlying issue, which is more important than whether we approve this proposed delay of the TIF deed restrictions presentation to the governor or on September 16th. So I would also add that my concerns could be addressed further on August 20th, which is another date that we have a commission meeting, the second meeting of our month, and we can further outline really what the issues are. I think simplifying it to saying or restricting it to the discussion of should we postpone this TIF deed restriction presentation to the governor and request for that by limiting that process in one meeting that restricts the discussion, we're not fully vetting the issue, and that's my position. So,
Okay, thank you for that, and your comments are not unnoticed. I understand why they're being said. I personally don't think they're being limited. I think by postponing, it creates the narrative of the conversation to occur. That's just my position on it. But if anybody has any questions, or anything they'd like to say on that, please, the floor is yours. You all are fellow commissioners, just as I am, and it's your position now to speak on it. Commissioner Linden.
Either the town attorney.
Could you turn your mic on, please, sir? It was off. There you go.
Either the town attorney or the town manager. Is there a time limit we have to pull back the discussion in Tallahassee on the proposed? In other words, if we waited until the 20th, would a timeline be gone where we couldn't do nothing with the proposed meeting in September? Either one of you.
The item has already been planned to be included on the September 16th meeting with the governor. So I don't know if when they submit their agendas and when they post their agendas, what their requirements are to do that. If there's, a date that they need to have an agenda finalized by. But our understanding is that the item has already been included on the agenda and is being planned for that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Mayor?
I really don't have much to say, but I think instead of putting it off, we're here tonight to have a discussion, and we can come up with a final result instead of putting it off to a different commission meeting.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you. The only thing that we're voting on here tonight is to delay this project again. The issue is not whether we want to delay the project. The issue and what was raised yet last night in questions was first of all, before we even get to this point, the agreement that we entered into for the P3 is a flawed document. Our town attorney has described several areas where there are concerns that we have. If we're going to limit this and just say no, we're going to cancel that, and basically that's what this vote would do. It would cancel that September 16th meeting that would give the town $1.2 million. I don't think we should cavalierly dismiss $1.2 million of revenue to our town. What we should do is present a process where we would talk to, have the developer meet with our town, have our town staff present what issues we feel are in conflict, give them a timeline to present a solution to those issues, and move forward in that direction. If we do that process, we'll be in a much better place than just simply postponing the date of September 16th. And I think by making our town and the developers get together and talk about this would be a good thing. And we could discuss it again on August 20th.
Okay, thank you for that. Commissioner Thomas, anything to add?
Just waiting for your comments.
Okay, and I am as well. I'd like to hear from the public as well as everybody that has submitted a public comment card. And again, just to let you know, there are 3 minutes per person. So I'd like to get through these, and I would ask again that the rest of the audience that are not speaking to show the respect of the person that is. With that, I will begin with Donald Palumbo. Mr. Palumbo.
My questions are.
Make sure you got the
pertaining-
mic close enough to you to speak on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. My questions are concerning the new proposal on the marina. I don't see anything posted in here on the layout. You know, there's that back lagoon holds right now, say, 50 boats. They're all going to be gone. The west side of that marina will just be for, I guess, people pulling up to the Nautilus 220. So where are those 50 boats to go? There's waiting lists on all the marinas. I have a boat in the marina. I'm a taxpayer with 2 units in the 301. I could have went any place when I came down here. I chose the great little town of Lake Park. I mean, I love it here. It's my American dream, you know. I retired, I worked, I served my country, and I just feel like I'm being pushed out. So does anybody know, is there a plan for eliminating the boats in that back lagoon? And when are we going to be told that we have to get out? I do have a couple plans where we can get more grant money from the state if it's a municipal marina, and I'd like to come in and talk to somebody about that. I don't think I can explain it in 3 minutes, but I mean, the elementary schools used to bring the children down to the fish dock pier. I mean, we have natural resources there that we could teach the young children in the grammar schools here about the underwater life. And I mean, we have many retired teachers in the 3 buildings that would, instead of playing mahjong, they'll give their time up and work with the children. And eventually, if you get something going, I think you can get some grant money from the state. There's a gentleman in the marina now. He takes 4 to 6 children over to Peanut Island every day, and he trains them. He teaches them snorkeling and about the underwater life. I mean, they can walk out on that fishing pier. The fishing pier has got to be power washed. It's terrible. But have the classes come down maybe 2, 3 times a week, and they can see the starfish during the week. There's no boat traffic there. Fish going by. Get them interested young. And, you know, it's going to maybe stick with them for a while and keep them off the streets. Give them a good start.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Joanne Robin.
My concern is that I heard that when you were choosing a builder for the marina, that it never went out to bid, that just Forest Development was awarded that opportunity. And having seen his building over at the Nautilus, and the way he pumped groundwater into the marina, and for a long time there were no sea life anymore there. He had not filtered that water before dumping it. One of the residents in Lake Park called the Environmental Protection Agency, and they stepped in. I called Seacoast because I would walk over there and the water stunk so bad. I quit walking over there. So it was really polluted, and it killed the sea life, and it killed what they fed on, their food source. So I later found out from Seacoast that water should have been filtered through. They have ways, their engineering department explained it to me. But I also found out that Forest Development had never built a high-rise before, and they had never built, obviously, on the water before. So my concern is if they're awarded the marina project, they may destroy the environment. They don't know, they don't have the experience or the knowledge to know how to do that. So I'm hoping that you'll open up that opportunity to experienced builders who build on marinas, who know how to do that. And that's it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Andrew Miller.
Hi, my name is Andrew Miller. I've been in Lake Park for 14 years. Just as an aside, Cushman and Wakefield are investigation in multiple states and under investigation by the federal government. I'm not sure why anybody would hire them, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the marina. Big important thing, it's public. The land is public. If you want to take the land and give it to a private company, you better put it to a vote. You need a vote. Every Lake Park citizen needs to be on a ballot because you're stealing land from the citizens of Lake Park. I'm going to get involved. For all those that vote for it, I've been retired a long time. I'm a retired educator. I will make sure you are not in office next time. I don't pull punches. Okay? Thank you all very much. Andrew Miller, I live on West Jasmine Drive. I'm here to stay.
Okay, thank you. I apologize if I get your name wrong. Rita Resnick? Hence why I did my apology before. Could you pronounce it for me just so I don't get it wrong next time?
Yeah, it's Retta.
Retta.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you
Loretta without the low.
Thank you very much, Loretta. Without the low.
So, yeah. We live in 301 in the building. We look at this beautiful building next to us at Nautilus. And it is a gorgeous building. We've been watching it go up. We got excited about it when we moved here. You know, everything's great, but it's kind of like a first date. You put makeup on, everything looks good. After a little while, the makeup comes off, and it is not quite so pretty underneath. And that's kind of where we are with it. We've kind of had some things creep over into the 301 building that have been kind of brought back to forest development and lakeshore development. So as a community, we were hoping that Nautilus 220 and forest development would bring us closer together, elevating Lake Park to the next level. And that's really what we want. We want to see Lake Park be successful. Instead, we're now a community at Lake Park, at Lake Harbor Tower South, layered with several lawsuits. These lawsuits were the result of an investor coming through the back door to take over our building, including an LLC operating agreement with Lakeshore Development on the footer of the document, along with misrepresented purchasing agreements. Lakeshore Development has connections with Forest Development. I can express the level of disruption, aggravation, possible cost, and time that has cost our community. In the end, this is ending up being a losing proposition for everyone involved. I say no more projects should be awarded to Forest Development. Let them finish one. Get one done, and then see what the rest of them are going to look like. But right now, we're looking at a beautiful building that's got great, appeal, but it's got water underneath it, and all we're seeing is roads closed. So kind of focus on one before you start jumping on the others. And the marina is a beautiful place to go, and I think we should be able to bring our kids back in there and start introducing them to the water that we have there and the beautiful turtles and everything that we see. And if it's not a public marina anymore, we're not going to have that opportunity. So thank you, and hey, Lake Park's come a long way.
Thank you. If you could hold your claps, please, I would like to get through the public comments. Thank you. Chris Steele.
Chris Steele, 301 Lakeshore. Real quick, just for the record, I am not anti-developer. Commissioner O'Rourke, you and I have spoken about the importance of having developers come to town. I see most of the forest team is here. I assume they're here to speak in support of themselves. Having said that, I was here at the meeting last night. You all have a real problem. You talked about the budget. You talked about revenues you should be getting now, revenues that you should be getting going forward this year that you're not going to be getting. I remember 25 years ago when my wife and I moved here, and there was a lot of exciting things happening. This building was being renovated. Downtown Lake Park was being reinvigorated. I sat on the Planning and Zoning Board. There was a developer that came to town, had a great plan. Retail space down below, residences up above. Sound familiar? It's been sitting empty for years. I'd give you the developer's name, but it wouldn't mean anything to you because he left a long time ago. Developers come because they see an opportunity. Commissioner Thomas, you mentioned last night, I like forest development. I don't think anybody in here wants to see forests fail. We want to see them succeed. But the fact of the matter is, they have not followed through on their commitments. And we are suffering the consequences. So the conversation last night was all about we need to renegotiate the deal. Commissioner O'Rourke, I agree with you. This discussion needs to be more than about postponing this meeting. It needs to be about getting out of this deal. This is not the partner for us. We should never have partnered with a developer that has no experience with marinas. Don Palumbo has a boat. I don't have a boat. But my wife and I look out our back window every morning at a building, 2 buildings, that are now over a year past their deadline. And at best, they're going to be 18 months to 2 years past their deadline. I feel for Mr. Mercer. If you need a place to crash, we have an extra bedroom.
If you could please keep the focus. If you could please keep the focus here. Thank you.
You all need to understand, Commissioner Thomas, you hit the nail on the head. We're here for one reason. Because of one individual who's no longer here that got us into this situation, and now you all have to deal with it. And it's not as simple as renegotiating. This is not the partner for us. They have no experience, and they have defaulted on one deliverable and one deadline after another. So to move forward with this developer and to push any narrative that this is the partner for us, for any of you commissioners, it is absolutely irresponsible, and you're doing a disservice to every resident in this room and every resident in this town.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steele. Michael Steinhauer. And I see you've left us documentation. I'll pass that. Thank you.
I'm going to amend my comments so I can stay easily within my 3 minutes, but my full written testimony is in front of you. Regarding this delay request to August 20th, this is simply a delay tactic, and we've had delay tactic after delay tactic from this developer. Residents are here tonight. They're here tonight to tell you how they feel. To ask them to come back in another 2 weeks is unnecessary. And it's a harassment to the residents who have made an effort to be here today. It's an opportunity for the developer to again mislead, as he has in the past with mass media, about the status of the project. Commissioner O'Rourke wants to have the developer meet with the staff and conveniently leaves out resident input when you suggest that. The mayor is right. Postponing September 16th opens the door to dialogue. It doesn't close it. Extend the deadlines. Again, where are your financial statements on any of this project for the past year? And you want to think about extending it. Inappropriate. Please read the details of my written testimony. It will demonstrate precisely why this is not a good deal for us and probably not the right developer. Nautilus is not completed. Tenants are angry that they can't move in as promised and have no hard date to do so. And it appears that the developer's partners are either in financial stress or themselves are suing each other. How well did the Nautilus lift station planning go? How well is the lift station planning going for 10th and Park? Your own attorney last night warned you about the consequences of moving forward on this project and giving up all control over everything. Once and for all, listen to his wisdom. He's your attorney. Do not accept any $1.2 million checks until we have worked out some smart planning, as attractive as it might be to have $1 million in your pocket. You're selling your soul, and you're selling us down as well. Enough. The Lake Park Marina must remain a true public benefit. I like the marina just the way it is. Vote tonight by motion and a roll call to see who's interested in being reelected and pull the town's request around the reverter process, the TIF issue, and at least pause the madness. I tell you that the marina's budget crisis is the town's budget crisis. When you have doubt, do nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Zachariah Caesar. Zechariah?
Yes, Zechariah Sassani.
Cesar.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good luck pronouncing that. Yeah, it's a hard one. I've recently learned that anytime that I receive information, and I know it feels good, I just second guess it, and anytime that I receive information and it rubs me the wrong way, I should really open up my mind. And so I'm going through this process as I'm listening to everyone here. There's a lot of passion, everyone's fired up on both fronts. I get that. I think, and I'm just watching and observing how this project is going. And I don't mean to say this in a way that's downplaying anyone as a, as a person in any regard. But I do want to say that the most qualified people in the room, when they bring the facts, for example, anything that requires, anything that is built that's huge, successful, et cetera, say a massive building, for example, what it actually requires to get things going and moving, they're not going to release, and even you guys are not going to release everything as they're going along. You're only releasing things, and you guys are figuring it out together, and I see that that's happening, and I understand that there's postponage. That's necessary. There has to be room for error. That's going to happen in anything that you take ownership on, regardless of the situation. And so the point that I think I'm trying to make here is that I think there's wisdom in not having any emotional responses on how you guys are making decisions, regardless of where you're getting the information from, and want to encourage you guys for the vision of where we're developing, where we're going. I stand by that regarding to the marina, and the reason, even as a business owner here, and I'm not trying to like separate, try to pull you away towards the business, it's just we planted our flag here because of the potential that we see here in this town. And I find that every time that we have a discussion, every time that I find that we're having a discussion about this building and development, there's a lot of hopes and dreams that are being pulled and being shot at. And I think it's affecting the other people who I also see developing as business owners in these areas. And there is, like this gentleman said earlier, there's a ripple effect that happens. And everyone's at standstill. And so I pretty much just want to say here in my last couple of seconds is that this going through does allow the torch for hope to provide. I don't see hope or light in any other direction, not allowing the continual projects that are occurring here. And this being a big idea, it's the gentleman made a really good point. It's an all or nothing kind of situation. Like this is a pinnacle point if other projects continue to develop as well. And I find that this is really what's been given to the town of Lake Park. And as we continue to develop and grow and we want to move in that direction, I find that there's wisdom in all the potential that could potentially occur. So that's it.
Thank you. Teron Mercer, Mr. Mercer, come on up.
Okay, I want to thank you for having me up once again. Once again, I'm going to say good things happen to good people because we care. Now, for this part of the agenda, I'm going to ask that Forest Development, before they move on with anything, please get me in my home. Now, I know that sounds a little awkward, but I know that they're wanting to do other agendas, and they're wanting to do this lake, the park, the marina, and we were told about the marina. But before you guys can even move on with the marina, you have to finish the first deal that you signed. So I want you to, know that wholeheartedly, I'm going to be here. I'm not going to go away. I'm going to be here on every single meeting, and I'm going to be sitting here, and I'm going to hold Forest Development to their obligation that they have promised me and the rest of the community. Now, I will ask that you guys take the time to do your due diligence. You got to know where you go before you go. So if it seems too good to be true. Sometimes it is. Take the time and do your research. I'm sure Safe Harbor Marina and other places would have, they've done a lot of good things on their side, but as a marina builder, this marina and the park is a crown jewel, and this is what brought me here to the city. I love the city, once again, and I love it just as much as you do. So I want you guys to think about that as you're making your decisions to go forward. And Nautilus is going to be a beautiful building when they complete it. But let's finish one agenda before we go on to another. Thank you.
Thank you. Shayna Phelan?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shayna Phelan. I live on Evergreen, and I've been a resident, my husband and I have been residents here since 2002. And we're not only residents, but we own a business, a couple of businesses, and our boats are at Lake Park Marina. They've been there since 2008. And we're a scuba diving company, so we take people scuba diving every single day. We have quite a lot of locals in Palm Beach County that come with us, but we also drive a lot of tourism. I would say somewhere between 50 and 75% of our business and the people coming out are out of the county, sometimes out of this, well, a lot out of the state as well. So I really wanted to kind of discuss working waterfronts just in general, and just always kind of make sure that when we're discussing development at the marina, we're talking about working waterfronts. We're talking about the fact that working waterfronts we're losing them throughout the state, and how important they are, especially for driving tourism. Ocean tourism in Florida is worth like $6 billion a year, and you guys have a gem. We have a gem as a community with that marina, and it needs to be developed thoughtfully. We're all for development. We're all for seeing the town grow responsibly, but we are very cautious. We urge you to be very cautious about handing over complete autonomy to a third party without really understanding what that means. Riviera Beach Marina did it. They handed it over to a third party, and immediately the third party instituted a user fee, a per user fee. So every company that was there has to pay a per person fee every time they take a person on one of their vessels. Companies closed down, companies moved out of the marina, and for me, it's our business. This is our livelihood. We live here, we're residents. We bring in, we brought in on average somewhere around 6,000 people a year that we're taking out on our two boats. That's not Freedom Boat Club. That's not the other businesses. That's just our two boats. There are many boats, many businesses in that marina. And to give complete autonomy to a third party, whoever it is, I strongly caution you on doing that. You lose control. And I think the town has an obligation to both the residents and the businesses to make sure that we're using our resources responsibly. And once you give autonomy to somebody else, you no longer have that option, and there's no longer any obligation to us as residents of the town or businesses of the town. So I just wanted to make sure any discussions that are had about that marina, also think about businesses, think about working waterfronts, think about what a jewel we have and the opportunity that we have as a town for public and private use of it. It is a gem for the public. It is a gem for the residents. So I really wanted you to hear that from us, because we're business owners, we're residents, we've been here a long time. I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Cara Rosa.
Good evening, council members, mayor, attorney, quorum, residents. I'm Carol Rosa, and I live on 7th Street. This whole discussion has concerned me. Basically, everything that she just said, I want to say. Our marina is a gem. I am part of the boat club there. I didn't know they were being evicted. We don't have that anymore. This is part of the reason I moved here. I think I started coming to these meetings less than a year ago because I was not informed. I really, really think, you guys, we have a communication problem. We have a communication problem from the commission to the residents. The residents don't know about this. I had no idea about the marina. Like when I came in here the first time, I had no idea who to vote for a commissioner. I didn't vote for any one of you. I didn't vote. Remember that little story that I took? We have got to get involved. Your residents want to be involved. That is our public marina. It is for the public. It is not for private use. I don't care how much they say. I've had a boat. Do you know how much a boat slip costs? Right down here at the condiment building, it's $800 a month for one boat that's 25 foot. That's $800 a month for one slip. They're getting it. I've seen the numbers. It is ridiculous. We really did not need this. We need to reevaluate what's going on. They haven't met some of their contracts. We need to look over this. Stop right now. The best thing to do is stop before we proceed. This is not a good deal. The attorney needs to look over it. I don't understand why Mr. O'Rourke wants to proceed so much. Seriously, I mean, this is a crisis. As I came in before when I said, your residents are not communicating with you, I will do anything I can do to help the residents communicate. They don't know what's going on. There is not one person in my neighborhood who knew anything about the marina. Where do we get the stuff up? The website doesn't work. People can go and look on there. A lot of the people do not have web. We are in a Haitian community. I am over with the Haitian people. They do not have it. They are not included. We need to get the community involved. We need to revamp this because it's not working. I don't want to lose. Where's my boat going to go? Where's other people's boats going to go? I mean, and they're getting it for nothing. This is an outrage. I don't know what we do, but we need to get our things together. I am confident in you guys that we can work together. The residents want to work together, but this is not working. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary, oh, actually, she just walked out, so I'm going to skip her right now. Claudia Wendez, correct? Or, what, Wendell? Okay, looks like a Z for a minute. But Claudia Wendell, please begin.
Hi, I'm Claudia Wendell from 301 Lakeshore Drive. Just flew back from Philadelphia about an hour ago to attend this. I have limited knowledge of what's going on, but the thing that troubles me more than anything else is that this agreement is for such a long term. I was told that it's 99 years and that the revenue that comes in is guaranteed for only 11, and the other 89 is not guaranteed. That was what my understanding was, and I don't think that that's, I think that needs to be relooked at, and I think that there needs to be checks and balances along the way, because 89 years is a really, really long time. And I also was told what the revenue was going to be, and it seems really, really low compared to, it seems to be that it's not, it's imbalanced, not in the residents' favor and the marina's favor. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve Hockman.
Steve Hockman of Flagler. Of course, the commission knows me from past commission, but this whole thing with the marina, have any of you guys read the deeds? Have any of you literally read the deeds on the marina? I would say no. As listed on your documents tonight, you even talk about some of the deeds. But the actual deeds say, and this is when MacArthur Foundation created it, that marina is not to be used for anything but public use. Okay, we have a 99-year lease on that ground, on the marina, 99. You're doing the same thing. Have you verified that we can actually sublease? And again, if you read the actual lease that dates back to 61, 65, it states they can come in and take that property if we use it for other things besides. No commercial business. We've been doing it. You even state that we've been doing kind of going beyond what the lease actually says. We need to keep this as the town marina, keep it that way, keep this town as a jewel. We're getting too high with these high rises. Do them to 3-story, maybe 4-story, fine. But again, town of Lake Park was always known as the jewel of the Palm Beaches. That's gone away. That's what's sad. You guys are doing things, it's not to benefit the town people. Somebody's probably getting money somewhere. The developers are making a killing. They probably love this idea because the amount that you guys have got this thing for is kind of really ridiculous. Furthermore, have we paid the county back the $2 million that we took the grant money to buy the piece of property on the corner of Silver Beach? Because for that grant, we can't use that but for boat parking, trailer parking. That was the lease agreement or the grant agreement with Palm Beach County when the town decided to take the $2 million to buy that piece of property, as well as having the waterfront boardwalk. If you all remember, there was a lot of requirements. Did we give that money back to the county? Would we get the $2 million to pay that grant money back so we can turn around and sublease this property? So I think all of you need to take a break, stop, go back and read the agreement. And I'm sure the attorney, I don't know if you've actually read that agreement, probably not. But again, that agreement says we cannot do this. So we are kind of violating it. And does anybody know who actually holds the deed owner, the owner of the deed now?
Thank you very much, Mr. Hockman. Mary Taylor.
Good evening. I want to talk to the commissioners, the town manager, everyone, to say I'm so thrilled that we have finally a community that's come together to address things that concern everyone. And you have, as commissioners, the power. You have the power, but along with that, you have great responsibility. You have great responsibility, and I'm here tonight to voice my plea to this commission. Take and keep control of the Lake Park Marina by any means available. Do not negotiate with developers who are proving time and time again that they are not the friends of Lake Park that they pretended to be. They are a stereotypical developer with covert agendas, and they lack experience. It may be the first time the town managers, staff, and commission have faced such a trial, but it won't be the last because we, the residents, have something developers want. Location, location, location at a discount price. There are valuable lessons to be learned from this experience and new creative solutions to our problems. We need to remember this is our town. I believe we can create a budget that pays our bills, even if we have to cut back on non-essentials and trim the payroll. It will be worth it to keep our way of life. I do not want to hear that we need developers' money. We do not need this developer's money. We do not. We can handle things. If there was mismanaged before and we were in trouble before, it was mismanaged, but it's a different time now. We have more money. We have more money coming in. You got to be careful with it. Like a family, you have to budget things if you want to pay your bills, and that's the most important thing. We're not doing some of the things that need to be done in town because I don't know why. Maybe because we spent $750,000 on extra sheriffs and an extra aide for Nautilus, and we're paying for it this year. And what are we getting for it? How much money? I think we're losing money, and I think we'll continue to lose money if we continue to follow, I don't know what you're following, the Yellow Brick Road or whatever, because it's not working. It's not working. And I want to welcome Terrence Mercer as a new resident. I really look forward to the new residents moving into Nautilus. We welcome them.
Thank you.
I wish them luck.
Thank you very much, Ms. Taylor. Ms. Felicia Again, Pescano. Ms. Felicia, are you still here? Felicia? Felicia, are you here? Okay, I will hold her card back to see if she comes back. Lee Feldman.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, my name is Lee Feldman. I'm a principal with the Euclid Group. Just for the record, my office is at 525 Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. I've been up there where you are. I'm a retired city manager, or recovering city manager, as some would say. I think it's important to recognize that the discussion tonight needs to be limited to this project, not Nautilus 220. The project that you're talking about is the P3 that you approved. You have a signed agreement, and that agreement defines the partnership. Let me point out, I should have said we represent Forest Development. We are not in default. We've never been put in default. There's been no notice of or indication to us that we are in default of any provision of the comprehensive agreement. We regularly talk to your staff. We tried to schedule weekly meetings. I need to point out that the last 2 weekly meetings have been canceled, not by us, but by the town. And we had a meeting scheduled for next week, which has already been canceled due to conflicts that the town has. We are ready and willing to talk about issues, timetables, and so forth. We've watched your budget hearing. Talked about the $1.2 million. Let me just clarify that the $1.2 million is contingent upon the reverters being filed, recorded. That will take place based upon the action on September 16th. Once the reverters are recorded and the town puts us on notice, we will pay the town the $1.2 million. The leases, there are 4 leases. They will not go into effect until the reverter is recorded. You talked about the construction of the hotel. That will go into commencement once the lease for the hotel is in effect, once the reverters are recorded and were put on notice. Financial statements, that came up at the budget hearing. I think the mayor raised that issue. We have no obligation to provide anything but periodic financial statements, and that obligation commences with the leases. Again, not in effect. Matter of fact, the leases, and we talked a little bit about some terms that need to be clarified, it doesn't talk about what is periodic. Is that once a year? Is that once a month, once a quarter? Things like that may need to be qualified. But what I want to talk really about now, and I recognize there's only 23 seconds left, that the town has an affirmative obligation under the comprehensive agreement to cooperate with us to move the reverter process forward. If you don't, there will be damages that are incurred by the developer, and those damages are going to ultimately be the responsibility of the town. You have an obligation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mercer.
Mr. Mayor, I would request that the other time, so I can put some items on the record that are pertinent.
I am going to give 3 minutes to each person, so I have another person that would like to have their 3 minutes as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, isn't this public comments rather than making their case?
If I'd like to just get to the public comments, so thank you.
Point of order. There should be no comments from the gallery while this process is going on.
Thank you very much for that. I've already explained to everybody already about civility and decorum. I'm going to go through these public comments, so thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
I'm going to call the very next person up.
Yeah,
So,
Mr. Mayor,
again, thank you very much.
Okay, we're happy to address comments later on and hope we have an opportunity to.
Thank you very much. Felicia, you'll pass? Okay. Larry Zabek.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Larry Zabik, for the record. I'm the project manager for the P3 development, and I've been presenting over the last several years to you. I just want to take my time to address a couple of things. As I'm listening to the comments, I've taken good, deliberate notes, and we're going to respond to all of the comments, but I think there's some key elements that everyone needs to be reminded about. We spent 2 years negotiating the comprehensive agreement. After a bid process, we were not sole sourced on this project. It was something that we bid for, and we developed a partnership and a plan for how we're going to do the development. All of these different pods that we're talking about, the hotel, the boat storage, the restaurant, and the marina, we're going to be going through your planning and zoning process. There will be public hearings. There will be votes by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and they will come to Town Council, and Town Council will do their diligence. So all of those details have not been finalized. We have concept plans that we've worked on together and have developed, and we're moving forward to develop. The trigger to all of this is resolution of those reverters for the marina, and we have been diligently working together to get those resolved. We do need to stay on track for the September meeting, and I think it's very important that you know that the original appraisal for the money that we'll be spending to clear those reverters was done in August of last year. And the state has agreed that that 1 year limit on the appraisal will cover into September. So it's critical that we meet that deadline and we get those reverters resolved. That is clearly a strong benefit to the town. In the process, we certainly learned some things. There were some uses the state didn't view as allowable uses, but that's something we'll continue to work with them and come up with the best plan that we can move forward with for Lake Park. With respect to the marina, one last comment. It is a public-private partnership. It is not something that is going to be solely managed by the P3 partnership. It will be managed jointly as we agreed in our partnership agreement. And the comprehensive agreement is not a document in stone like the Ten Commandments. It is something that is written in that we can agree to make changes to it as we need to. And there have been ongoing discussions with the staff and between the lawyers on changes that need to be upgraded. For example, there's an exhibit in there that has the lease terms. Those have now been replaced with 4 actual leases. So 4 pages in the comprehensive agreement are now 100 pages. And those are the types of things certainly that will be easily amended, but the comprehensive agreement is our roadmap and part of our plan to continue to work together. Mr. Mayor, I appreciate the chance to speak with you, and we'll be filing a response to some of the comments so you can share that with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Peter Batarian.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Batarian from Forest Development. My office is in Lake Park. I make a big effort to meet with all of you regularly, keep you sort of updated on what we're doing. We won the P3 by competitive bid process. We spent 2 years negotiating the contract. I don't think any contract is perfect, but a lot of time was spent negotiating the contract. Today, we're here to talk about the deed restriction. The current appraisal runs out end of September. I think it'll be a mistake to not sort of approve going forward on the keeping it on the governor's agenda. We've seen, what can happen if we attempt to do another appraisal. I think you all should know that the marina today, although you think it's profitable, it's not. I mean, 1/3 of the income of the marina has gone, not by my choice, but by the governor. That was a deed restriction, and that revenue is no longer there. They were also probably the biggest buyer of gas, so that money is gone. Today, the security, the extra security for in the marina is provided by us. We pay for that. The repairs to the marina, we've paid for repairs to the marina. The golf cart, we've paid for. I understand the pump station is not working in the marina. It's not been able to be fixed for months because the town doesn't have the money. So we're basically telling our residents that, go dump your waste in the waters because we don't have the money to fix it. That's a shame. I'm here as your partner. I want to fix these things. I want to make the marina better. I share the same vision of you. I didn't come up with this on my own. This was your plan. I stepped up to say I can bring it forward. Yes, Nautilus is late. That happens often on big construction projects. We're going to deliver a gem to this city. I'm not bringing empty retail. You have 2 restaurants, you have a coffee shop, you have a real estate office, all coming into the building. We've created lots and lots of jobs. We have job fairs. We're a good resident, and I'm here. I'm here every day. My office is here in the marina. These people, they see me. If anybody has anything, come to my office. I will meet with you. We have never dumped wastewater that's not DEP sort of approved into the marina. The water is checked on twice a day. We have no violations on that. I have no water issues under the building. Yes, the lift station had to be rebuilt. Unfortunately, these things happen. But as a partner, I'm here. I want the best for what's community. I share the same vision as you. Please do not make the mistake of delaying on the reverter. We don't know what would happen next.
Thank you very much. Sam Bauer. Sam Bauer? Are you? He's waving. Okay. Again, I encourage everyone to please allow the person to speak and be silent during this process. Sarah Flynn.
I'll pass, thank you.
Okay. Steve LaFontaine.
Steve LaFontaine, 545 Evergreen Drive, 25-year resident. I just want to say something really quick. My neighbor's house just sold, and 3 of those houses, this is a 1960s house, 3 of those houses times what she got for it is $1.2 million. Just to put $1.2 million into your head, what it is, it's 3 houses in our town right now. 3 houses. That's what $1.2 million is. It's not a big number anymore. Short and sweet. There are boats everywhere in our neighborhood. Driveways, people have boats. From where I sit, and I've seen a drawing of what they're trying to do down there on the marina, and to me it looks like it's going to be an island, a private island, for people to put their boats in it. And that's kind of something that I don't want my name on it. When the marina shrinks to something tiny and this big, huge island of big boats appears, and someone asks me, how did this happen? I'm going to say, I stood up here and said, we don't want this. We want you to rescind the agreement with it, let the chips fall where they may, and because I don't want my name on it, and I know many people who don't want their names on it either. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Evelyn Clark.
Good evening, staff and commission. Listening to the representatives of Forest Development, if what they say is true, why are we even here? The next thing is the P3 LPM Comprehensive Agreement states, whereas the town and the developer acknowledge and agree that the marina must be maintained in perpetuity as public property and that the public must have access to the marina and its facilities, including any expansion of the marina. On 8/2/23, 4 out of the 5 commissioners voted for the P3 resolution agreement as presented then. Now, in hindsight, with the town's budget deficit and upcoming reverted clause due in September, Lake Park, from my standpoint, is at a disadvantage. 10%, only 10% new revenues on new leases, no financial statements regularly from the partner, potential lost real estate taxes, the reverter is only on the marina, the hotel is not built. issues with public space use in the site plan. A developer has some project delays, and the 99-year lease the new generation will be stuck with. From my standpoint, this is a sweet deal for the developer, and I do not understand why the paid consulting staff experts did not convey all potential risk and negotiation resolutions at that time. The bottom line is, whether we had a city manager or not, staff and commission should have had quarterly audit status audits and threshold updates on a project of this magnitude. The Forest Development team said they have done this. Why are we even here? Why doesn't people, even you guys, don't even know? All parties need to come back to the table considering the other potential projects by the same developer may be in the future pipeline. Is the 8/20 time enough for the staff and council to conduct and complete its due diligence, I ask you? Lastly, as a resident of a former municipality that gave total management control to a third-party vendor, the residents were told when, where, what, and how high to jump by that management company after our taxes built the marina. And the marina access was for boaters and lease renters. And being at that time a marginalized resident is an understatement of the feeling when told when, where, what, and how high to jump by that management company and to get out at 9 o'clock. I wasn't welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Susan LaFontaine.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I'm just adding my voice to other folks in opposition to basically giving away our marina to Forest Development for pennies on the dollar. Thank you for bringing this issue to a vote. Thank you. And I hope you vote to postpone the meeting in Tallahassee. I feel like I've fallen through a wormhole on Star Trek into an alternate reality. In what universe is it a fair deal to give a 99-year lease to an entity that only has to pay for the first 10 years? I want a deal like that. If you're going to consider continuing the P3 agreement with Forest, negotiate an amendment that is favorable to the town and doesn't give away our marina for pennies on the dollar. Thank you. Also,
Thank you.
Bravo, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you. Katia Zaskova.
Katya Zhestkova, 1018 7th Street, and I'm going to be very, very short. Mr. O'Rourke here is saying, let's talk with developer. We hear Commissioner O'Rourke talk every meeting, and it's not favoring residents, it's always favoring the developer. Please, I believe 4 of you have very sound mind, you're reasonable people, and that's why we put you in office. That's why the residents voted for you. You're the best of the best for us. So please, 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 make a right decision. Do not wait till August to make this decision. Don't hesitate. Have guts to make a right decision for the town. That's why we're here today. And we rely on you. We have great respect for you. So I hope that tonight we will resolve this issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Excuse me. So that's all the public comment cards that we have for tonight. I want to thank everybody for presenting their public comment cards and giving yourselves and allowing us an opportunity to hear your voices for your 3 minutes that you were awarded. Again, this is a important topic for everybody involved. Those of us here in the dais that have to make the decisions, and those of you that are concerned residents that are giving us your input. Nothing is ignored here. All the components for this decision are here. So, again, the topic of the discussion right now is to postpone the TIF permitting applications and any other DEP applications scheduled for September due to the issues with the marina with respects to permitting in the comprehensive agreement. I'm going to, again, allow my commissioners a moment to, if they have any questions. If not, I will entertain a motion.
You know, I'll jump in there, and I was a little premature before, but I'll move that. So moved.
So moved.
So
Second? To postpone the TIF permitting applications, any other DEP applications scheduled for September due to issues in the marina with respects to permitting and the comprehensive agreement. So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Question?
Question?
We move this,
We have a second for discussion?
Yes. Can we have a second? Second.
we move this.
You got a second.
We have a motion here. The Vice Mayor second.
Okay. Second, yep.
Move for discussion.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
So if, this will now go into pretty much discussion between the town.
It's actually discussion amongst us
No,
here.
I'm saying,
at the
okay,
dais.
farther then, I'll ask you.
Right.
This will, if this passed, the Forest or the P3 partnership will go in discussion with the town manager and the
Town
and
manager,
the attorney.
staff, and the attorney.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
I apologize if I interrupted you in your discussion.
I thought, you know which way.
Understood. Any other questions, sir?
No, no questions.
Any comments or questions on this?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Rourke.
I'll go second.
Commissioner Thomas.
Point of clarity, Vice Mayor. Are you stating that should this be delayed, the direction would be that it goes back to staff and the town manager to have a discussion with the developer? Is that what you just stated? Is that what you're asking as far as the direction?
I believe that's the clarity he was trying
That's
to
what
get.
I want right now.
I didn't hear you, to be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, and there's a point of clarity, should the vote be that this be postponed to go before the
No.
governing cabinet?
No. He's saying upon the vote,
Okay.
will the discussion be between the developer, the town manager, and the town attorney?
So upon the vote, the discussion, further discussion, unless a presentation, I would prefer, so we all be on the same page, we all get meetings with our town manager who updated us, and you better have 2 hours. So all the discussion go between them at presentation, so we all on the same page come through us here. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
Well, so as Mr. Zabik pointed out, we've been meeting with Forest on a regular basis. The last couple of meetings were postponed or canceled. Next week's League of Cities.
Yeah, we're not going to be here, yeah.
No one's, well, I'm on vacation, but I don't know where the manager's presuming. The presumption is that we will continue our dialogue. We have issues going on with respect to the marina and the barge that Forest now has in there as their model sales center. And we have the boat clubs. Separate from that, we have these issues. You've heard Mr. Feldman reference to default. Last night during the discussion, there was reference on the town side of things about default. There's a lot to discuss, but as was discussed last night, need to pause the consideration of the reversionary clauses because, as Mr. Feldman had indicated, that triggers a whole lot of activities that have to occur that are yet to be discussed as far as apparently the parties are concerned.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Linden.
So if we vote tonight to delay this, does that prevent the town manager or indeed the attorney from continuing discussing this situation?
I think that's kind of what he answered there.
at least for myself, and I think the town manager, our answer is, we're ready to continue the dialogue. I presume Forrest is too.
Okay, so moving tonight does not stop them from discussion. Moving it to August meeting gives them a delay and a shorter time. This is almost going to guarantee we're going to get some kind of a resolution back in front of us. No? Okay.
All you're voting on is whether to postpone. The town is the applicant.
Right.
You're postponing the application that's before the DEP regarding modification of the reverter clauses. Okay. If it doesn't go in September, it's possible that it could go in December. In the meantime, the hope is there will be a dialogue that is ongoing that can address some of these issues that you've heard about last night and you're hearing about tonight.
Answer my question then.
Okay. Vice Mayor? Commissioner Thomas?
I just want to be placed on the record by stating that Mr. Feldman did state that there were 4 lease agreements that were partnership with the town. And based on site plans that I see, we have Pod A, which is the hotel, Pod B, which is the recreation and open space, Pod D, which is the restaurant, and I would imagine Pod C is the wet slips. Okay. So, for some reason or the other, we're talking about Pod B when Pod A isn't complete. And Pod A isn't part of the discussion. Okay, so Pod B is what we're referring to as far as the TIF that affects the the trustees of the Internal Improvement Fund. That is what the request for the delay is.
It's simply just to delay the applications.
Yeah, but the delay of the application is for the
application to modify the reverter clause. No more, no less.
Okay.
No nothing on the comprehensive agreement, no nothing on the pods, no nothing on the PUD, just the reverter clause application that is before the governor and cabinet. There's also a DEP application to relocate the boat ramp. That's before DEP. The town's been asked to comment about that. And that application is still in process also. We haven't, internally at least that I know of, we haven't discussed that. So it's those applications that the suggestion has been made that you postpone them so that the town staff can wrap its hands around this and figure out the direction that it might recommend to the commission.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas, you have any other?
No, he made it clear.
Okay. Commissioner O'Rourke.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for their very warm responses to me, and I do appreciate it. I think a lot of people out there think that I'm here against the town. That's not my position. My position is I love this town. I always have. I was on this commission when this development for the US 1 corridor was put into place. And as a result, it's grown into this process. The process has allowed us to grow as a city and to be able to do things that we weren't able to do before. The motion tonight is a motion to postpone the meeting with the governor for the reverter that will be held on September 16th. What I stated prior to the public comments was that if we delay this simply to August 20th, to the next town meeting, I'm asking the town and the developer to get together. And in getting together, some of the things that we've heard here tonight, and I'll read some of the things that it. Well, before I say that, one of the things that I want to say is I've seen a lot of political things going on lately that where people develop a position and then they lock themselves into that position because they believe they understand things in their own way. There's a lot going on here. There are things in that, in the P3 agreement that need resolution. People have brought those items up tonight. Those things won't go away simply. Those things won't go away simply because we've postponed the reverter. The reverter is just going to be postponed till, I believe the next date is in December. The town attorney and Mr. Baird, I'd ask you this question. You said it was a possibility that they would hold the reverter meeting in December. Is that a possibility if we were to postpone that? Or is it an actually, there's nothing in the calendar right now for that, is that correct?
No, the governor and cabinet meet quarterly. Their next meeting is in December.
But
I don't set their agenda, they do.
I understand. So it's possible, when you said possible, it's possible they wouldn't hear that in December, is that correct?
That's up to the governor and cabinet and their staff, yes.
Okay. So if they decided, because and this is not the first time it was supposed to come up for a vote on the reverter either, is it? With the governors.
There have been previous attempts to put it on the agenda. The reason that it wasn't put on the agenda by the DEP staff, because there were unresolved issues with respect to the barge being located in a deed-restricted area and the two boat clubs being located in a deed-restricted area. Nothing's changed in that respect. Those issues have not been resolved yet.
Understood. But with regard to those issues, would it be helpful to have staff meet with Forest Development, and even if they don't come up with answers, just at least to outline what the issues are? Because I heard so many comments here that makes it clear that a lot of people don't know what the real issues are.
We met with them in February, went through the entire comprehensive agreement. Since then, the focus of the discussion has been solely on the reverter clauses.
Okay.
We have not gotten to those other issues.
And is that because the reverter clause, as they have said, triggers the next level of negotiation? Would that be fair to say that or not?
I think that the parties' focus has been on the reverter clauses, and this discussion about the boat clubs and the barge has gone on and on for months We most recently, Ms. DiTomaso had sent a letter to Mr. Zabik in regards specifically to the barge. We asked for answers to some questions. Those answers were due last week. We did not receive the answers to those questions. She asked again for them, and we are supposed to receive those on Thursday.
Okay, so when you said you didn't receive the answers, that's not forest development, though, it's the boats clubs, right?
No, that's forest development. Their barge.
Oh, okay, you were talking about the barge.
Right.
You also said something about the boat clubs. What was?
The boat clubs, there's an ongoing dialogue with the boat clubs about their interest in staying or not staying. And those have been the issues since January that have been discussed. The other issues of the comprehensive agreement haven't been discussed.
Okay, and in January, when those issues were brought up,
February.
I'm sorry?
February.
In February, okay. That was when our new town manager came on board.
That's correct. After he acclimated himself and familiarized himself with the comprehensive agreement, we had a large meeting with forest representatives. We had another meeting, I want to say, in June, where they brought in Mr. Feldman and 2 attorneys. And that discussion was not specific to the comprehensive agreement. So we're looking to continue the dialogue, but the commission action and the motion on the floor is simply to postpone consideration of the town's application to modify the deed restrictions.
Okay, so with all of those questions I just asked, the $1.2 million that we would get from the reverter if the state were to approve that, if we postponed that in September, we wouldn't get it at that period, correct?
You won't get that until 1 year after the CO. You'll get that amount immediately after the deed restrictions are whatever it is that the state does, and then 1 year thereafter, there's some other revenue that gets triggered.
But that won't be triggered if we don't get to that place first, correct?
I don't quite understand why I'm having a question and answer during discussion that's intended to go to the motion. I'm happy to continue it,
Mr.
Mayor.
Baird, if you don't want to answer, let's do it a different way, okay? I'll ask the commission this then.
Okay.
If we postpone this, which it appears that's what's going to happen, then in September there'll be no vote on the reverter. And then that reverter decision would then be moved if the governor's staff agrees to hear it in December. But if they don't, that reverter, where do you think the next time we'll be able to look at that issue?
He's already stated it's quarterly.
Okay.
And also, since you're using if statements, what if they don't meet us in September?
I'm sorry?
What if they don't meet us in September, and then we have to wait till December anyway?
Well, we're already scheduled for September.
Understood. Anything's possible, correct?
I think we've already been put on the agenda, so I don't think that's... I would agree. And I understand your position that you want to postpone it, but I'm really just bringing
Actually, you
up
don't know what I agree with, because I haven't said anything yet. So you
if
don't...
I were a betting man, I would
you can bet all
I'd
you
win a
want.
bet.
I haven't
But
said nothing.
If I may, I'm trying to make a point.
Go ahead, continue, please.
I'm concerned that by delaying the reverter process, it's going to be moved off until 2026. If that happens, our revenue doesn't come in 2026. which it would come if we moved forward at this time. It would move that money to 2027. And that's my concern with delaying this vote here tonight.
Okay, I do. Folks, if you could please give me there's a discussion happening. Thank you. Vice Mayor, I saw you raise your hand. Did you want to say something?
Oh, no,
Okay. While I understand your position and your comments that you're stating, I've stated last night there's issues with a lot going on and the comprehensive agreement. There's a lot of issues that I see that's going on with how this process has gone so far. So for me, that's a big issue. For me, this is just as much my town as it is those that are out here, as well as those that are here. My position is for the town first and foremost.
So is mine.
I know it is, but I'm letting you know my feelings.
Okay.
That has always been my position.
And Mayor, I never have questioned that. I know
you never have questioned that, but I'm giving you my comment. This has nothing to do with any comments geared towards you. I have no problems with your comments that you've stated. But I have my comments, and my comments are, I feel that there needs to be more dialogue on these issues than anything.
I would agree with that, too.
And I understand that there's a $1.2 million that is contingent of the reverter clauses. And I understand that you're stating that we're holding off on revenue. But I'm also confident, since Forest is doing their part to get Nautilus going, that Nautilus could probably be done before the 1st, because if it gets CO'd before the 1st, then that'll be revenue coming to the town anyway.
Understood.
Which is their project, has nothing to do with us. So I'm very confident in Forest getting to that deadline, because for the property appraiser's office, January 1st is important to find out what the status of a property is in terms of its build. And if it's been given a certificate of occupancy before the 1st, then it'll have revenue coming to the town. So for me, I look at that 1.2, and I'm willing to say, okay, it can be paused with respects to what else could come to the town. And now you have my position. Okay?
I'd like to applaud your position.
I wouldn't, no, I don't, it's okay. I please, again, I'd like you to refrain from clapping. Any other comments, sir?
No, I have nothing further to say.
Okay. No other comments? No other discussion? All in favor? I'm calling for the vote right now. So, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
What'd you say?
Are we doing roll call or we just?
We can do
Calling for
roll
the
call.
vote?
Let's
I'll
do
go
this
aye.
vote again, okay?
I will
Call
try
the
to.
vote,
I'll do
please.
I'll do roll call.
I would like a roll call.
Commissioner Linden,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Hensley,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Rourke,
Nay.
Mayor Roger Mashad, aye. Please, again, please refrain from clapping. You have all time after the meeting to have your discussions and your feelings as well. Okay? Okay. That is all the agenda items for tonight. Town attorney comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I got a couple of important issues to raise for your discussion. Actually, one is not necessarily an issue. My office has been preparing for some of our other municipalities that we represent some workshops. Specifically, we did a workshop for the employees of the town of Jupiter on public records and the Sunshine Law. And we also extended that to the council and advisory boards there. And I would like to extend that invitation to the town and its employees. A couple of very bright young attorneys in our firm have done that workshop. And from the reports I got back, it was very helpful. So if that is something that the commission would like to consider, and again, it's both for employees, and a separate workshop then could be commission and your planning and zoning board. And if you were as the vice mayor was at their meeting Monday night, you would, I think, agree that, some structure needs to be given there. But if that's something the commission would like us to deliver, we'd be happy to do that.
Consensus. Go ahead, Commissioner Thomas.
Is this different than the ethics training? Because the ethics training at some point certainly addresses Florida Sunshine Law, and all of the advisory boards, specifically our LPA and our P&Z, are required to have ethics training annually through, of course, here in our local Palm Beach County ethics training, but it certainly does talk about government and the Sunshine Law. So are you stating that this should be in addition to?
Yes.
Okay.
It goes into much more depth than, and the ethics discussion is a little bit different, although, as you noted, it does address sunshine and public records. This is specific to the law, and it was originally developed for employees, because a lot of employees are not familiar. It's not so much the employees need to be aware of the Sunshine Law as they do the public records law, because a lot of employees get requests for records, and in my experience, depending on the level of an employee, they may or may not know what their obligations are.
Okay. I just want to expand on this. Town manager, how often do our advisory boards, specifically our planning and zoning board and our local planning agency, get an opportunity to have training or at least a refresher on quasi-judicial affairs as well as ethics? I know that Florida Planning Association certainly makes that available for board members. I'm not sure to what extent our advisory board have that opportunity to engage.
Yeah, it is something that we probably need to ensure that we have a program annually for all of our boards and committees. You're correct that the APA does do something locally, and so we'll continue to promote that, but it's something that I have on my agenda to work through and look at.
And I wanted to note, we also have, I'm an instructor for that APA workshop, which will occur this year in November, the Friday before Thanksgiving week. But it's called the Public Officials Workshop. I think Commissioner Linden attended it several years ago. But we have that outline as well. And that would be another workshop specifically for you and the Planning and Zoning Board. The Planning and Zoning Board really needs it because they haven't had that many meetings recently. Mm-hmm. So they need to kind of re-familiarize themselves with the process.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing, Commissioner, of course, I've been out of Palm Beach County for a couple of years, but the league used to offer, and I need to check and see if they continue to do that on an annual basis, and we can invite all of our board members to their 4-hour ethics training as well. It's a free training that they normally do, and so we'll find out if they continue to do that and offer that to our committees and boards as well.
Okay. Attorney Baird, how would you advise if this is, now we're talking on the employee side, how would you would be looking at that for all of the departments, for all of our town departments?
Yes, I mean, obviously, the manager and the department heads would, determine who's attending, but when we offered it in Jupiter, prior to our developing that outline, the First Amendment Foundation used to make a presentation like that. So it's an offer. You don't have to accept it. We're happy not to do anything, but I thought it might be helpful.
Actually, it is actually quite helpful.
Is that part of your fee, or are you asking additional fee on that one?
I'm not
just,
asking for an additional fee.
That's time.
No.
Time is money.
Absolutely. I understand.
Did you say
That's
something?
the beauty of having associates do it.
Oh, okay, okay, so this will be a part of it. Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, so
I would say that I'm in agreement with it, but that's me.
well, I'm happy to work with the manager and try and schedule that. I know everyone's busy, but to the extent we could work that out, I think the important thing for the employees certainly is the Public Records Act. My second item is related to Senate Bill 180, which you all have heard a lot about. I've been having an ongoing dialogue with a couple of the principal attorneys at the law firm of Weiss Serota. Weiss Serota represents a number of municipalities in Broward and Dade County, a few in Palm Beach, mostly related to pension matters. But I know the two principals there pretty well. They were the law firm that brought the case on Form 6 successfully against the state. Our dialogue has been along the lines of a lawsuit in regards to Senate Bill 180 because it is so restrictive of the town and other towns' home rule authority, specifically in the area of planning and zoning and land development regulations and comprehensive plans. It's already having a chilling effect on communities throughout the state. The city of Orlando adopted a comprehensive plan amendment related to the city's vision. And we're just talking about a vision. We're not talking about a specific development plan. And the Department of Community Affairs, well, no, it's not called that anymore. The Department of Economic Opportunity, I think it's called now. They rejected the city's plan amendment. So it didn't get to the point of a lawsuit, but they rejected it. The lesson that cities might take from that is that even if you move forward with plan amendments, you've got this state oversight, which, for years after they gutted the Department of Community Affairs, there was no oversight. Now, apparently, that's returned. But at any rate, the law firm is basically reaching out across the state to cities that would participate in it. Their expectation is that the city would pay a $10,000 fee to participate in that. Their hope is to get 50 cities signed up. It's a lot of money for a small town. Not asking you to commit to it, just asking that you think about it. And in the future, if it's in a future discussion, if it's something you think you would want to join into, then I will let them know. Our firm represents 3 other cities. I'm fairly confident that those 3 other cities may dip into it, but I haven't had that discussion with them yet. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Town Attorney. Town Manager.
Sure. Just wanted to invite the public to our annual back-to-school extravaganza here at Town Hall on Saturday, August 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Students in grades K through 12 will receive backpacks filled with school supplies. This is something that our staff works real hard on, and really hope that the public can come out and benefit and support the kids getting ready to go back to school. We also have a sunset celebration coming up on Friday, August 30th, down at Kelsey Park. So hopefully we'll have a great turnout, great weather. We did have a proclamation request, Mr. Mayor, from the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Miami, who is preparing to commemorate the 114th National Day of the Republic of China on Taiwan on Friday, October 10th, and they're asking us to do a proclamation. So I wanted to see if that's something that you guys wanted to go forward with.
That would be a consensus, so.
I have no objection to that.
Any objections? None? None? None.
Well, I do, because I read this and I don't understand what it's all about, so I do have an objection.
Okay.
I'm
We
just
have
like,
four
yeah.
in
Because it's not
favor and
telling
one
me much of
objection.
anything, you know?
Could you please provide a little more detail if you can
We
obtain
can
it?
get that to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll hold off until you guys get a
Yeah,
chance in?
give
Okay.
us a chance to get more information. Yeah. Yeah.
We already did it.
And then there's another item that we'll want to talk to you guys about. It's at where we have a resident who's asked to install a mailbox in a swale. However, as you're probably aware, this creates conflicts within our rights of way and, of course, in our drainage area. And so we wanted to kind of, just see what your thoughts were. Do you want us to bring that back? Do you want to talk about it? Maybe give us some direction to continue following our previous practice of not installing those types of things inside of our swale.
I would say if that's the practice.
Is that everyone good with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes our town so unique, the
Yeah.
fact that our mail persons actually come and deliver our mails and they do a drive-by.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we needed.
After driving through Tequesta for a luncheon we all attended, some of theirs, if not all of them, in the swale, and that really looks bad, so I'm opposed to
Yeah.
putting them in the swale.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same light with that,
Yep.
Commissioner Linden.
Again,
So,
just wanted that.
Yeah.
I did want to say, of course, we have the league conference next week, so look forward to that with almost everyone here. But I did want to say that I appreciate all of your comments, questions regarding the budget process and where we're at on it. And we're, as I mentioned yesterday, anything where we're tweaking, we're going to make those tweaks and make it as clear and transparent as possible. And any areas where creates concerns, we apologize, and we'll continue to work hard to make it, as transparent as possible. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Since we're getting it in piecemeals, we're not voting on it until further down the road.
Well, you'll vote on it in September and in your two meetings in September. So as we go through these, we're, asking if you have any questions and assuming that you're good with it from when we talk about it during the workshop, as it would be in any workshop. If there are additional concerns, then of course let us know, and if we need to bring it back, we can certainly do that.
Thank you.
Sure.
All set? Okay, so since you asked the question, Commissioner Linden, I will segue to Commissioner comments and start with you.
I'm good, no comments.
Okay, that was quick and easy.
That was quick and easy, yeah.
Commissioner O'Rourke.
I have no comments.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
Town manager, I just wanted to comment on last night's budget workshop. I really liked the way that it was laid out. The other thing that I really liked about it is the fact that the departments were broken up, it is rather voluminous when you're looking at those 9 departments all at one time. And even though it did take us 3.5 hours to go through it, I think that was a lot more beneficial than trying to do 3.5 hours with or more with 9 departments. It gave an opportunity for us to really flesh out some issues. And so I would suggest that if it's the desire of, or how staff has planned it, for us to have another workshop on the 20th or nearby so that we also maybe just be given maybe 4 departments at a time, because I would say that it was a lot more digestible.
We'll coordinate with you guys on a time and date, and of course get that out to the public so that we notify. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
All right. I do agree with Commissioner Thomas. I don't know if I recall saying this last night, but for the first part of the budget, Barbara, you did a really great job. I know you've been up here every Saturday, plus the time you work. So I'm hoping we finish strong with the budget. And I'm also just proud to see a lot of the community out here tonight to voice their opinion to the commission. And I look forward, I think it's next week, is spending the weekend with you guys and watching the mayor on the dance floor.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. No, actually, I have a few. I have a few choice. Just some comments. First off, I want to say thank you to the town for being here. Your voices are always heard, even when. I don't ever want you to think that your voices are never heard. They are heard. Even if we're not saying that, we're listening. We're listening. We know you guys have discussions on your own. We know you have discussions on platforms, but we hear you. We hear you, and we're not making our decisions lightly. We're taking facts. We're taking our public input, as well as we're taking those that we create partnerships with, and we put it all into this table right here that we call a dais and make the best decision that we feel for you guys. But I want you to understand that your voices are not unheard, okay? Secondly, I understand there was a public comment tonight about communication issues. Let me tell you, I am very confident in the staff that's here that the communication does go out. But if you feel that there's communication issues, communication is a two-way street. So we need you to provide us input and provide us your concerns as to why you feel there's no communication issues. It doesn't simply just come once in a public comment and then we never hear anything, because if we don't hear anything, we assume nothing's wrong. So it's a two-way street. We need your input when it comes to communication. And this is not a blaming comment. This is a help me help you comment. A Jerry Maguire reference for those that have watched the movie. Thirdly, a comment that was made to us about whether or not we've reviewed documentation. My answer to that simply is yes. We have staff that helps us. We have our eyes that helps us. I read. And we simply get the job done. And if we don't understand something, we ask. And we also listen to our community. That's the role that we have here when we swear in, just like those before us that have sworn in. And I'll leave it at that. So with that, I want to thank you all for making this decision, whether you were for it or against it. These are not easy decisions to make, but you know what? At the end of the day, I know we can come up here and make a decision, stick with it, but know that this doesn't create a personal conflict, because it is simply business that we're trying to conduct here with our community, with the partner that we have. And although we have delayed something, that doesn't mean the dialogue is delayed. The dialogue needs to continue. And I encourage both parties, us as a town, as well as those that we created a partnership with, to continue that discussion. And I will leave things at that. So with that.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.